Hello, folks at home. Nice to be here with you. Thank you for joining me. As you know, I've been painting my Idoneth Deepkin Leviadon, and here he is. We more or less finished him last. I'm going to move the camera a little bit in a second here. Thought I had it. We pretty much finished this guy last stream. This is what he's looking like. The crew's done. The turtle's done. And what I said I was going to be doing this stream is the base. And that is true, although the more I kind of thought about, the more I needed to already finish lots of parts of the base. So I'm going to show you where I am with the base. I'm pretty excited about this. For a little bit of context and as a teaser, let's start off by checking out the basis of some of the other things I've done. And we are going to work on these guys a little bit today. We'll talk about this in a second. So here is a Alopex, the sharks, aka the sharks. There he is. And so you can see what I'm kind of doing is this night. The thinking here is sort of like a tide pool, coastal tide pool. Maybe in a at night with some bioluminescent stuff, just bioluminescent stuff. Here's, for example, the aspect of the sea. Aspect of the storm. There's his base. You can see what I'm going for here. Now, what I decided to do when I did the Leviadon is, first of all, I bought the tall base, the tall flying base from Magnet Baron. Here it is. And here's the Leviadon's base. And this is kind of how I'm going to keep it. It's actually more water than anything. Kind of like I'm imagining the Leviadon is maybe behind the main force who have made landfall or are kind of in the tidal pool areas. And the Leviadon, meanwhile, is coming up behind them to reinforce. That's sort of the narrative I'm going with. I'm weaving here. And I'm pretty excited about how it's coming out. Now, I'll talk to you about what I'm gonna do today. This final journey working on the Leviadon will actually see me working on some of these other guys a little bit too, because believe it or not, I'm not considering myself quite finished yet with these guys. So I'll show you why that is. But before I do want to show this. And it's going to be a little hard to show on camera this angle. Hopefully you get a better view of it this upcoming Monday at 5 p.m. when John and I play a game, and I'll be bringing the turtle. I think John is bringing Sylvaneth, so I think it's Sylvaneth versus Deepkin. Should be an interesting matchup. Okay, here we go. So this is, like I said, one of the tall Magnet Baron stands. There's a medium, which maybe I should have gone. This is pretty tall, but I kind of like it. And there's a short, which I did have already, and I didn't like. It makes the Leviadon like basically right above the base. If I get a second Leviadon, I'll probably do a different size. First of all, I did this thing with these Magnet Baron bases where let's see, hopefully it's still okay. These magnets are very, just break it on air. Yeah, I did this thing so that when I travel, I can pull that out, take that apart. I actually haven't been doing that on my other ones because they're so short. Like the shark here, I can't take this rod out. That's permanently glued in there like that. You have the option to do it either way if you're using Magnet Baron products. He's got you covered either way. So this one I did this, and then what you actually see here is that they call this like a flight stabilizer. And I once again, I did not use this on any of my previous models. You can see under the shark there. I pretty much just kind of put the magnet directly on the model. Here though, I did put a magnet directly on the model there. You can see been scuffed up a little bit. I'm not too worried about that. But what I found was a little wobbly, so I glued this thing. You glue a magnet. I'll show you how this whole thing works. Does this actually come out anymore? I forget. How did I do this? No, I think that this is, no, that's it. There's a magnet in here. In between, you can kind of see it. There's a magnet in here in between the acrylic rod, and then this has a little indentation. This is like a little 3D printed plastic thing he uses, and then the magnet kind of drops in there. So there is a magnet, doing magnet stuff on the other side of this plastic. which means we can stick the Leviadon here, and there it is. Here, I'll hold it up. I think this is probably the better view, right? And there it is. It ends up being pretty tall, and I'm pretty excited about how tall it is. I was comparing it actually to Saray's KO that we have as one of our factions here on the channel, which we also will be playing pretty soon on stream. And this guy's actually like pretty close to the same height as, about the same height. So next time we play KO versus Deepkin, the turtle will be like right there with the KO. It'll be kind of cool looking, I think. One of the things I thought I might do today, as I'll hold this guy up here, I thought I might spend some time doing any kind of last minute touch-ups on the turtle. I've looked over and I just don't really feel like it needs it. I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. I think I really should thank you guys for some of that, because I really had to sit here and paint and work on things for 2 straight hours, where I otherwise might have rushed a bit. So it's been kind of nice. There's one thing I'm kind of thinking about. I'll actually bring him back down here to show you, because otherwise we're gonna move on from the turtle. And I might still do this. I'm not positive yet. I'm kind of letting my eyes, and I invite you guys to do the same. Look at the turtle with your eyes and decide where, you know, like the focal point's kind of this area right here, the rider guy and everything, and that's sort of where some of the heaviest coloration on the turtle is. He has this front horn, and I haven't done much with it, so the horn is actually sort of low key right now. By contrast, you can see like the back tail, I did this yellow fade on it. So I'm kind of thinking about maybe doing a yellow fade on the horn, or I might just honestly highlight the horn up more green, like another layer or two, to get it a little more highlighted. But I'm not sure on that yet. So I kind of like, you know, the way I like to think about it is you do pick a focal point, but sometimes as you're painting a larger model like this, the focal point picks you. And so I was painting him, and I was kind of deciding where I wanted to emphasize things. And I really actually, at the end of the day, honestly, I kind of like the howdah. I kind of like the drummer, the void drummer in the back here. And so I'm mostly pretty okay with how this looks, and I'm kind of wondering if this would, if making this brighter or lighter or yellow or more vivid or call more attention to it would actually maybe be a bad thing. But I don't know. It's easy enough to do, so I know I'm not being lazy. In fact, I would probably do it almost exclusively with an airbrush. If I was going to do yellow for sure, I would do white, and then I would take one of the Dollar Roundy inks I've been using and just over top of it a little bit. Not sure yet. We'll see. Might ask some of the pros. I'm asking you guys what you think. Do I do it? Do I go for the yellow or not? So we shall see. We shall see. Now, I'm going to set this guy aside for now and pull the base back out and talk about actually here what I'm doing today. Actually, this is not going to be, hello Pat, this is not going to, I just put him down here in the chair. That won't be a problem. Okay, so here's our base. I got the shipwreck. This shipwreck actually comes on the, it actually comes on the base for the Eidolons, but I pulled it off of both of them. In fact, it's actually, you can see my Eidolons are a little more wobbly than they should be. The boat actually goes like right here normally, and I filled it in with milliput. You can still see some evidence of it, but there's a little hole in the bird thingy's head on the boat that one of these little bumps sticks into to help stabilize him. But I kind of felt like having 2 Eidolons, having 2 boats. I already don't like the way this fish is sort of a structurally intricate fish. You kind of need the fish. I already hate the way that they both have the fish in the same spot. I want their bases to look different. So I pulled up the boat in both cases and didn't use the boat for either of them, and have been fine. I've been doing fine. Everything's been okay. So here's the boat. I kind of like it on the Leviadon's base. So what I have to do, you can see I've had this fun thing. I've been able to kind of put down some of my little bits I've got this reddish plant that I use. I've got a sponge right there, a little bit of sponge sticking out. I've got the coral here. Sorry, I'm like camera angle. There we go. The coral, a little fern there too as well. The plant. Okay, so let me show you what I've got. Well, one, I do have a bunch more of those things. Here they are in a bag. Excuse me. I did those a while ago, but I think I'm good there. So let me show you what I'll be working on today. First, at the end of the stream, or once even maybe before, once I build up what I need on here, anything else I want to add, I need to then use the AK Stillwater to do my water kind of effect, which actually I owe thanks to Pat on that one. Because it's really a nice product. It somehow just sits where you put it. And you're like, oh, you have to do that like masking ring thing and let it sit and solidify, and you actually don't. So he's the one that told me about that, because I was prepared to do that. I was like, this is gonna be a total pain in the butt, but it really has not been. Like I'll show you. Do I have? Oh yeah, like here, the Eidolon of the Storm has water on the edge, and it came out pretty good. Okay. Here's what I'm doing today. I'm actually excited about this. Finally, I've gotten to these sea creatures, and I'll talk to you about what I've done here. First, I put down a layer of the same company that makes Microsaw and Microset. I forget what the name of the company is. They also make this stuff called liquid micro tape, which I really would recommend. Liquid micro tape, what it does is you put it down, and it's really wet. It looks like PVA glue at first, like Elmer's or something like that. And then as it dries, it becomes kind of like this tacky film layer. And then you can stick things to it, and if they're small enough, you can airbrush them, and then they pop off kind of no problem. This guy is like a little big and like shaped weird. This is like this weird turtle thing. I've no idea what the hell I'm gonna do with this guy. He's going on someone's base. And he's a little weird, but you can see more or less, you can see where he was, his little outline. He's been kind of popping off, but for the most part, all these little tiny things have been staying around just fine. So I actually really recommend that product. You will, the only thing about it is, it's very funny, when you buy Microsaw and Microset, it comes in the same bottle, and you won't mistake it because it looks like glue. But I don't know about you guys, the only reason I've ever had to rebuy Microsaw or Microset is because you spill it. You will like you can go your whole hobby career without ever rebuying a bottle of those two, except for the fact that again you spill them like once a year. The liquid micro tape you go through fast. This was about a third of the bottle. So if you're doing a lot of these projects, maybe a fifth of the bottle. I might be lying. But if you are doing a lot of these kind of projects with airbrushing, where you want to stick a bunch of little bits to something, and keep in mind, these are all going to be laying on the base, so the fact that half of them is not getting worked on at all, totally fine. They're going to be sitting on the base. But if you're going through a lot of this, you'll find that you go through a lot of the liquid micro tape. But it's not that expensive. It's totally fine. So that's the plan today. Excuse me. Let me kind of explain what I've done here so far. Mostly they've been primed black. You can actually see a lot of what I've done because you see the paint. They've been primed black. Then they got a fairly aggressive Zenithal highlight of white ink primer, like a white ink primer that I use, the Molotov. And then they start getting different doll rounding colors. And you can see I mostly grouped them by color. So I've got kind of the pink section here, the orange section here, the blue section here. You can see that the shells, or many other things, were then given an additional layer of a very thin white coat, so that I feel like this kind of makes things look natural. Here's like the purple. Okay, and we're gonna just kind of play with these and get them looking nice, and then start putting them on bases. So I'm actually quite excited for that. You can see the crabs are pretty adorable. Here are the crabs. I did the crabs red. Crabs really aren't often that red. Some are, like the Christmas Island crabs. But I just wanted to make the crabs red. I don't have a lot of red in the army otherwise, so the addition of red is kind of interesting in this army. Yeah, that's it. Some of them I haven't touched yet. You can see, like this one, I have not played with yet. Let me see if I can get that. This is quite a nice one. Some of these, by the way, are from Citadel Games Workshop, and some of these are from what do you call it? Epic Basing. By the way, kind of funny. You know, I don't even think I kept them. I think I tossed them. There were both a handful of ones from Epic Basing and a couple from Citadel that weren't good. And like I literally got rid of them. I'm like, these are stupid. You can't tell what they are. The Epic Basing one, I really appreciate it. And when I tell you guys, you're going to be like, oh, that's so sad. Where are they? I want to see them. They made attempts at sea cucumbers and sea slugs, but they don't read. They just don't read. They even made like the frilly sea cucumber, but it just looks like a line of crap. Like it didn't work. It doesn't read at this size, in other words. So I tossed those. Likewise, there are even some Citadel ones. There's a weird Citadel hermit crab that like has like all kinds of crap coming out of it. It has like a random claw and tentacles. It looks like it's like a combination nautilus crab creature that they made. And I just tossed that one because I was looking at it. I airbrushed it and then I Zenithal white over it. And that'll often kind of show you more definition, what's going on. And you can look at it and you can say, okay, what is this? What's happening here? And when I did that, I was just like, this just looks like, it doesn't look like anything. It looks like, what the hell is this? So I got rid of a few of them, to be honest with you. Okay, but here we are. Yeah, oh, sorry. Back to these ones that are still white. These ones, these are two little baby, you can see these are little baby deep mares. I have the adult deep mare. Oh, no, I didn't bring them in. Okay. Anyway, little baby deep mares. Those are cute. We've got weird squid things. These guys are pretty cool. And yeah, I'm going to, I think some of the ones that are white, I'm going to focus a little bit more on. And some of them might also go in the boat. In fact, I think this one with the fish here, if I recall, actually was from the Gloomtide Shipwreck, the terrain kit we have. I think I pulled it off to paint it separately and we'll maybe put it back on. I kind of made this one up. This one is like this base here, and I attached a manta ray to it with plastic glue, so he's stuck there. So yeah, now I'm just in the process of doing a little bit of work on these. They don't need that much. They're just a little tiny basing material. Doing a little bit of work on these and putting them places. So I think it makes sense for us to start by putting things, figuring out anything else I want on this Leviadon base. And that actually includes thing number one I want these silvery fish I do actually want them to be silver like this. That's not a mistake, but I want them to have like a little bit of a tint of a different color. So actually, we'll start there, and then I'm going to find a couple things that I want to put on the Leviadon's base, and we'll go from there. Thanks to everybody once again for joining me now that we've kind of outlined what I'm doing today. Chris, I appreciate the gifted membership. Thank you so much. We always appreciate your support. Good to hear from you. Hope things are going okay for you. Hope things are going okay for all of you watching. I appreciate it as always. And journeys are fun here for me because I can, a lot of times I get a little censored on air because of my hot takes. But not when I'm by myself. Nobody can do much about it. So I can just kind of sit in here and spout off weird comments and, you know, see if I can end up on Reddit. Just kidding. That's not the plan today or ever. It just happens sometimes. Okay, gonna grab a couple brushes here. Don't need anything too fancy. Enjoying my Chronicle RPG wolf hair brushes, by the way. I will say that. Also enjoying, as always, my synthetic GW ones. Those are kind of nice. The big synthetic GW one, this guy right here. Love this thing. You beat the hell out of it. It always goes back to its shape. Okay, cool. let's start with, oh, let me show you guys something else. So I've been doing this glaze on things where I do like the blue glaze on my armor, the Aethermatic blue contrast to give my, what I call like my shipwreck look. So I make about 3 parts chrome, Vallejo Air Chrome, 1 part Vallejo Gold. I mix those together, and then I paint it over top, paint over top of it a really runny layer of Citadel Aethermatic Blue contrast. I make it super watery, and I use water to thin it, if you saw that. And you can kind of see it ends up doing like this ever so slightly turquoise thing on the armor. Well, I want to show you another way you can get that look, or even enhance that look, is what I did here on this boat. This boat, you can see, kind of has some turquoise vibes going on. I have not did the wash yet. Instead, all I did is I sprayed over top of turquoise. And that's actually a really cool thing I learned from a class that Meg took, where you spray your metallics, or you dry brush or whatever, layer your metallics over top of turquoises. Gold, in the case of golds and silvery colors, you can pick a lot of different options, but like gold or turquoises and purples work really nice. And that's what this is. This has been basically, it hasn't had the wash. I am gonna go ahead and do the wash, because like I said, I've been enjoying that, that look. Sorry, I'm off camera here. Oh no, where is my Aethermatic Blue? Here it is, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a wash on the boat here with that. And then I need to figure out a color to slightly tint these fishes. And I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do for them. So we'll get there in 1 second. Let me start here with a little bit of my watery mix for my wash here that I've been doing. And this is pretty straightforward. I don't think I have any more of this to do today, so I'm just gonna mix up a very tiny amount. And honestly, I'm gonna get the water here off just from dipping my brush in water. And we make that pretty watery. You can see something like that up at the top of your screen there. Okay, I get it pretty watery. And then I just pretty much go over this. Let me tilt it so you guys can see it a little better. There we go. But like I said, one nice thing about going over the turquoise that's already there is that like the effect is just here already. And we're just kind of, we're making it, I think the layer we add does things like falls into recesses a little bit better, etc. So that's kind of the plan here. We can pull it. Both P-U-L-L and P-O-O-L, both types of pull here. Into areas where we want it to be a little bit more, we want the turquoise to be a little more prevalent. Like so. I'm thinking of this boat as terrain, so I'm not going to do a ton of work on it. And in fact, I think mostly I'm finished with it. I might do a little bit down here. I might do like, a little edge highlighting, etc. We shall see. I probably will. I'll be honest with you folks at home. This army is going first. It's going to be at a couple competitive events in the near future. But I think the only event that I'm going to in the near future that has a painting element to it is Small Town Throwdown in June. And it's pretty likely that before then, I will actually spend some time with the army and just touching things up. I'm really trying to, I won't be playing at Old Town Throwdown, which has a painting competition, because we're going to be streaming Old Town Throwdown. It's actually super exciting. But I will be playing at Small Town Throwdown, and so I don't actually get the opportunity. My opportunities I'm learning to get my army on the table for best painted are not as many as I would like. So that'll be fun. So I have some time. Small Town is at the beginning of June. I have some time before I need to have this army like really super ready. But I plan on working on it a lot more, and hopefully just getting it looking awesome. Okay, fish. Let's not do anything with them yet, because what I want to do instead is see what else I'm going to add to this base. And to do that, I'm going to, basically, like, I might have to adjust the color, right, based on what else is on the base. Soups, thank you. Ho boy, unfiltered Zach. Okay, I gotta take advantage. What's your take on disco music? I actually, that's a great, thank you. I appreciate the question, Soups. And I appreciate the support, as always. And everything you do for the channel, as always. Looking forward, actually, to hanging out with Soups in the UK soon. Very soon. Like, less than a month, almost. Okay, let's get to disco in a second. Because I do have takes on disco. You'll not be surprised to hear, probably. Okay, I'm gonna put the turtle on. I want to kind of take a look at this and take a look at what I have. You guys can't really see the turtle. There he is. I want to kind of see how I'm looking at this, how he's gonna get looked at on the table, and what I think might look nice on him as far as basing material goes. Okay. So there's a lot of empty space here, and the turtle is coming in. So I think I definitely like the idea that we have these little silverfish things here that are not silverfish. I'd be grossed out if they were. I hate silverfish. I like fish that are colored silver. I just don't like actual silverfish. We don't have a lot of land. So things like the starfish and the clams and stuff like that won't work quite as well. The shells, I want them sitting on land. Even the crab. I do have a little bit of land here to play with in the middle and a little bit right here in the front. So I definitely will put something there in the front. But I'm not sure yet what. I don't think a crab because I've got the reddish plant. So actually, let's go ahead and try our first thing. Here, we're going to see how it looks. We've got a little shell. Probably shouldn't be using metal tweezers for this. Does that look delightful? By the way, I will say this. If you guys think I'm really thinking carefully about the placement of these little bits on this base to ham up and stretch an episode into 2 hours or longer, I can promise you that's not the case. I really do want to I really do like thinking carefully about where these different things are going to go. No, I don't like this because it's a little too, he's a little too subtle right there in the front. I think what I'm going to go for actually is a starfish that is a little more exciting. Yes, that's it. That's it. That's what goes there. The starfish. Okay. Very nice. Let's just get that start. Well, okay. I'll remember that. I'm gonna maybe do just a little bit of brushwork on that starfish, but probably not too much. Okay. Mostly looks pretty good. So little orange starfish right here. Now let's look at some of the fish we've got that I could add to this thing. Whatever the hell is going on here, I kind of like, but the only problem is, this would add more land. A fish that's the same kind of color as the water, which I don't mind. I could get him over here by the blue. And it'll also add another little pink coral. This is actually kind of a 3-for-1 there. There's a little coral piece right there you can see. I don't like the idea of him like going right towards the boat. The water here could look good. I'm not sure about this guy. What about one of these guys? One of these weird little squid creatures. Oh, you know what? Let's take the turtle off. Okay. Okay. Maybe? I don't know. I think I'm not going to do it. Like I said, I'm not going to do a crab. I might do a crab. Like that? Yeah, maybe I'll put a crab there. Okay. Crab. Yeah, we'll do a crab there. We'll do starfish here. Honestly, that might be it for now. And then I have these things. These are kind of interesting. This is like a little skull fish. But I'm not sure about the. Yeah, I probably should. I'm also thinking a lot about when I move this thing. How am I going to be moving it? Because I don't want to have something where I keep smashing a piece on the. Probably going to move it like by the thing. This. I don't actually like the look of any of this like separated off to the side. I kind of like it clustered up a little bit more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. Right? Do I like that? Yeah, I think I like that right there. Okay, so that's what we're gonna go for. Great, okay. Cool, so let's do these three real quick. Then I can do the, then after that I can do the, what do you call it? Excuse me, the resin. And then, you know, maybe by the end of the episode it'll be slightly still and set enough that we can move on. Okay, now that the hard part's done of figuring out where these little guys are going to be going, let's chat disco. Yeah, so disco, I actually like disco for the most part. A really cool movement of disco is a place that cranked out some awesome disco in the 70s, 80s, even into the early 90s a little bit, is Japan. I think some Japanese disco is like some of my favorite. It's pretty cool. They use it in Sailor Moon a lot too, even. Yeah, I'm mostly into disco. You're not gonna get anything negative from me on disco. I actually quite like it a lot. When I was a kid, one of the first CDs my parents like got me for Christmas one year was the Bee Gees. Like I had several different Bee Gees soundtracks, or you know the Saturday Night Fever one, but other ones as well. So yeah, kind of into disco, honestly. What's not to love? It's got an awesome purpose. I think music is oftentimes better when its purpose is to either make you think or help you have fun, which is why I tend to be here. I'll work in something negative, Suits. I know that's what you wanted. That's why I tend to not be a fan of what I often call angry white guy music, which is like, I think the angry white guy music that thinks it's making you think about something, classic band is Tool, but I'll kind of be like Tool to like Puddle of Mud. Megan was listening to something the other day that I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I was so angry. I took a screenshot on my phone to remember what it was that was playing. Let me pull this up. What was this? I was like, oh my God, does Megan just listen to like Harley Davidson music now? Did I delete it already? I might have deleted it. Do you remember what it was, Megan, when I was like, hey, I can't ever listen to this again? Yes, Avenged Sevenfold or something like that. Yes, yeah. I was like, oh my god, what the hell is this? This is awful. Yeah, Meg kind of weirdly likes a lot of angry white guy music, and it's like when it comes on in the house, I'm like, I don't like this. Right now, vetoed is I can't veto angry white guy music because there's just too much of it. I definitely would struggle with that Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah, white rap too. Yeah, same thing. But even like Kanye, like his music is rap. Early Kanye is like, it is kind of cool, but you can actually, you see the seeds. It's a, you think you hear it and you're like, oh my god, this music is he's trying to be thoughtful, but actually it's not, right? Like he's just saying things, and then you just kind of realize again, it's angry white guy music. Thoughtful music that like actually makes you, I think like people who write music where you're like, wow, I should actually think about this, right? Or like they're trying to get a message across. Mostly not in the popular genre at all, period. But obviously you've got like Radiohead. Honestly, I think even the last couple of Beyonce albums and like Lemonade do that. Where they're like not necessarily just singing about sex, drugs, rock and roll, that kind of thing. But also like not just singing about being angry. So disco for me is just like pure fun. Like what's not to love about disco? It's amazing. It's for dancing, which is like a big thing music should be doing, right? Okay, I'm gonna start right away with a little orangish yellow starfish here. That one's pretty easy. All I really did was just do a little bit of excuse me, shading with an airbrush last night, and then today I'm just taking yellow and popping out a few little pieces here and there. And that guy's good to go. There he is. There's our first part of our turtle base. Loving it. That will probably get in the water just a little bit. Kind of curious how deep I'm going to put the water here. Very cool. Yeah. I didn't go after Beyonce. I said Beyonce did. I actually think her more recent albums are pretty thoughtful, and her early albums were fun. There's like, I mean, that's kind of like the best pop music, right? There's a lot of that going around right now. Sabrina Carpenter, just fun. Chappell Roan, just fun. She herself is a walking time bomb of unaware of everything around her and the things she says. That'll be interesting to watch in the near future, but still mostly okay. So, you know, it's just fun. It's just good, clean fun. What's not to love? Okay, Meg also asked me a question using her members monthly chat. Use your free super chat here. Use them all up here. Don't save them for anyone else. Just send them to me. Use them all up, folks. Okay, here we go. Top 3 double entendres based on sea life. Ooh, I'm not good at these. Soups is, I think he said, riding the seahorse, getting rocks off the seabed. That one's kind of funny because it's sort of like the joke I like to make where I'm like, I'm going to go down on my opponent in points. It's like getting rocks off the seabed. But also is that thing people do, get rocks off the seabed. It has to actually be real, Soups. It has to be a real thing. Catching crabs is pretty classic. So instead of really answering yours, I just gave Soups a grade on his. I think they were overall pretty good. The last one, taking samples. Is that? I don't know. Okay, maybe that's a good double entendre in the marine biology world or the marine geology world. Okay. Next, crabs. Yeah. Let's figure out what we're going to go ahead and figure out how we're going to highlight a crab up here. Speaking of crabs. And whatever we come up with, whatever we come up with. We've got several more crabs to do. The crabs, I think, are kind of a fun part. And I could do things differently with the different crabs. I did, like I said, base them all red. I'm using this AK Dead red color here on, you can see it. I keep putting the turtle on here. I should not have the turtle on. I don't even know why I did that. That was this last time. Okay, using this AK Dead red color. I like to use this color to highlight red. It's really like a pink. Oh, I didn't actually glue the crab on here yet, or that thing. That makes sense. Okay, let's go ahead and get the crab a little bit of highlights here. Like I said, the dead red is a really nice highlight of red. Just a couple spots. Yeah, I don't know. Top 3 sea based entendres. I don't know. Do you guys salty spread? Are these double entendres? Maybe I don't understand what a double entendre is. Or these are just bad double entendres. You guys just. That said, I have none. I have nothing to contribute here. But I will remember this, Meg, for your journeys. By the way, there is a poll. Pretty cool, huh? The poll today. Sorry, putting this crab down here. Making sure it's 6. Okay, crab. I want them to be a little more. Oh, and I have to remember that this pole comes in and out. Okay, there we go. The crab is there now. We got crab. We got starfish. Okay, now this guy is going to actually require a little bit of airbrushing. And then when I put it back, I'm going to have to do more airbrushing on the base itself. So we have 2 of these. Let's figure out what we want to do. And you can see what I mean by going to require some airbrushing is that there's rocks here. So I need to turn those rocks to look like these rocks to add to the rocks. So, okay, here we go. And also, you know what I forgot to get out? I have them in here though, are my different and favorite GW. I've really learned how much I love GW shades doing the Deepkin project. And my favorites, right? The blue, the red, the Druchii violet, and Cassador yellow are like, I think, my favorite ones. There's a lot of good green ones too. Beal tan green's pretty nice. Okay. Let me see real quick. I might just toss a little bit of shade into the crab here. The other thing that makes the Citadel shades one of their best products is it's like the one time that their type of paint pot is like really what you want, actually, I find. Okay, just sinking some wash into parts on the crab to just build a little contrast around the highlighting. I think it's an improvement. There we go. Yeah, there's the little crab guy. Can you see him? See him? A little adorable crab man. Okay, I'm gonna just see if this right now. That's not good at all, actually. Okay. I was wondering if the red would actually look good on the star, but I think the star is good. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to this fish. There's 2 of them. I'm gonna do them both at the same time. Okay, so it's not my best work airbrushing, I will say that. Boy, I kind of hate this, actually. This is like a mix. This is like creatures swimming through coral. So what do I need to do here? I need to do the airbrushing first. And then I need to paint the fish, which I think will kind of be this color, although like I said, I'm not super happy with how this came out. And then I need to do the coral, which I guess is going to be the pink that I've been using. So let's do that. Let's get to work. Okay, step 1, we take Cantor Blue. We've got an airbrush set up here. I'm not going to be doing very much at all, I promise. And I'm mostly going to just be hitting some things with, honestly, to bring it back. I'm going to, and I think I can get away with only using a Patriot today, which is nice because I know that things will stay clean. Actually, man, Meg and I are really stretching how long we're using this brown paper. We are really pushing it. I think I'm going to change it after the stream today, so I'm going to just go ahead and airbrush directly onto it. Okay, Cantor Blue, that's kind of the color of my bases, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit this quick Cantor Blue. Not a lot. Got my air filter set up in here, and I'm not going to be doing that much anyway. So don't yell at me. While I'm here, I'm looking to see what else is on this smorgasbord of little sea creatures that I need to maybe bring the base back on. This guy. Can we talk a little bit of lore? And I said, Meg, I'm still thinking on your super chat. I'm not gonna leave you high and dry. Okay, can we talk a little bit of lore? So the little sea creatures. I've mentioned before that that the Deepkin actually don't really have a great relationship with their mounts. That's why their faces are covered and they're using magic to kind of control them. Whenever the Deepkin, when you fight the Deepkin, you sort of have to imagine that you're also kind of like Beastclaw Raiders bring the Everwinter. When you do that with what are they called? The Deepkin, they bring in the Ether Sea with them. And so the Ether Sea is this sea that they basically travel long distances in. So like when that's why like you're fighting a shark, it's actually not that the shark is just like flying around in the air, kind of is, but it's sort of like flying, you're meant to believe it's like flying around in this ocean that's like going around the battle. Then that's where the tide rules come from. So what is going on down here? Okay, awesome. So that is all a long-winded way of saying that lots of little creatures come with them when they're doing this. Did I get this guy? Lots of little creatures come with them when they're doing this, and that's sort of what these are. And they sort of talk about like in the lore, things will like people will kind of like fall into the Ether Sea, and these little things will just like tear them up. They don't really. They actually do slightly have rules for this. Depending on what models you take. I haven't been taking a Tidecaster, but I think I probably will starting pretty soon. I have one. I've been taking the Soul Render just because, the Soul, oh my god, why can't I think of what it's called? The Soul Scryer, excuse me. The Soul Scryer, because it's a little cheaper, and also he fits, into a regiment. The Tidecaster, you have to open up a new regiment, but he has the Ashardan rituals, and some of those kind of mention like concepts of like the little fish coming out and stuff. A lot of like the Eidolons each have sea creature bite attacks that they have their actual attacks that they with their weapon, and then they each have like 6 attacks that are 4/4 no rend that are little fish bites. And a lot of things have that in the Deepkin army, just like little fish bites while you're fighting the thing. So it's fun to add these to the bases because they're there for a good lore reason. Okay, I think that's... I'm looking here. Anything else I want to add? Oh, a bunch of these crabs have it, actually. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. A bunch of the crabs have the Cantor have a little bit of rock on them. And so we'll just get in there and hit that. There's also a couple dry brushing layers we have to do real quick on these. But we're going to do those kind of one at a time as we get there. This guy is like almost not even worth it. Some of these honestly are, like I said, I tossed a few out because they're just too small. You can't read what's going on. And it's just like, oh wow, there's a little, you know, whatever color I painted, pink or whatever. Oh wow, there's like a little piece of pink shit on that base. Awesome. It's like, no, that's a sea cucumber. And it's like, oh cool, yeah. I know you guys can't, sorry, you can't really even see me doing this because they're so tiny and my hand's covering it. But there we go, that's all I'm doing is adding a little bit of the stone, you know, the Cantor blue from the base back on to the ones that have rocks on them. Most of them, some of them don't, some of them do. This guy's gonna be super annoying. He's like squatting down on ground. Interesting, any 3D printers at D, Godforge is around. Something to think about. I would like, Epic Basing gives you a mix of both types. I would actually kind of like want one or the other for the most part, right? And for me, my preference with the way I painted this army, my preference would be to have ones that don't have any of the rocks. Oh, there's some little supporting. I missed, whatever. No one's gonna see that. Okay. Going through and doing, like redoing the rocks is kind of annoying. It's what I'm doing right now. You could make a case that it can help bring the base in line, or the thing that you're doing in line a little more with, but I'm not sure that I would agree with that. I think just setting the little crab on top of my existing base would be better, right? Okay, I think I got them all. I'm looking for a little rock ground on anything else here I want to work on today. I think I got it all. Oh, this one. This is a fun one, actually. This is like a little school fish. The GW ones really lean more towards fish, and the Epic Basing ones are like everything but fish. So it actually works out kind of nice. Okay, I'm gonna just spray this out fast while we chat. There we go. I don't know that the only other airbrushing I think I will have to do today is once I put some of the rock ones down on the Leviadon's base, I'll probably clean up the water area around it just a little bit. It'll just be a couple quick blasts of white and then my Dollarowny green and turquoise. A little rubbing alcohol. How's everyone doing? What are people working on? Folks at home. Okay. Loon. How am I supposed to say? Loony, WH. Welcome to Lab Mandrill. Super fun. Well, that's nice, Timbit. I'm glad I can help. Oh, Striking Scorpions. Yay. Yay. Cranking out Asaryani. Okay, here we go. These fish, let's see. Like I said, not my best airbrush work. I'm gonna see if I can kind of power through that and paint these guys. Now, how do I want them to look? I want them, they're kind of orange. Actually, let me see real quick. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hit them with some cuttlefish orange, because this is a little slop. This is, I think, a Dollarowny orange ink, and the orange coverage is always a little funky, right? I always almost like multiple layers of orange. Is this what I want? Or do I want, you know what I want, actually? More ink. Let's go ahead and grab a fluorescent orange and go over top of it. Yeah, okay. Cool. Great. Okay, yeah. Or maybe fluorescent yellow. Let's try orange first. This I'm going to need later. Put it right there. Okay, let's try orange first. Big fan of these, by the way. I've used a lot of them for this project. Okay, yeah, that helps a bit. Helps my clean up some of my sloppy airbrushing from last night. Also kind of adds like a vivid layer to them. So we'll let that dry. Grab the other one here. Now, fish are often, well, that's not true. It depends. Coral fish. These guys are clearly coral fish, so they can be kind of any color you want. They don't need to do the light on bottom, dark on top thing that fish often have going on. Okay, so we'll start there with those guys. While that's drying, the other thing I love about inks, by the way, and airbrushing is like they go through them very easily and they clean out very easily. Like amazing for fine detail. Like if you're getting into a fine detail airbrush, like a CR Infinity or like a Nano or something like that. We have this Highline that I like a lot, which is just one level down from like super crazy thin Nano. Starting with inks to like not drive yourself crazy is probably a good idea, because it's very hard to get them to clog, even a Infinity. Okay, while that's happening, I said that because that's kind of it, right? That's the last thing I want to do. Is we got the crab, we got the starfish. Oh, these guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna toss a little bit of just like a blue on them. Yeah, but what? I'll tell you what I'm going to try. I'm going to put a little bit of Dollar Roundy turquoise right here. And then what I'm going to go grab is gloss medium. Okay. This is AK Gloss Medium. I don't know why I have this. I don't know what I got it for. I think lenses for towel suits. That's probably an okay amount. And let's see. We're gonna make like a little glossy. Ooh, it's kind of goopy. We're gonna make like a little glossy turquoise coverage. I'm wondering, I'm gonna give this thing a better stir. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. I don't know this product well enough. Anyone home ever used AK Gloss Medium? Should it be, I mean this stuff, like I said, is probably very old. Can this fit in there? Oh, dang it. Okay. So we have to shake it the old fashioned way. Which means a vortex mixer. This whole table shaking, look at that. Look at it go. All right, let's try this again. Okay, that's a little better. It's weird that I even remember I randomly had this gloss medium. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of this turquoise and mix it in here. Okay, we got this glossy, currently opaque, and we're gonna see how this works. This is an experiment, on-air experiment. We're gonna go over these fish with this gloss medium turquoise, and I'm gonna go over them kind of just generally at first. And then they have a little fin sticking up, and I would like to make that fin a different color. I'm kind of leaning towards yellow. Yeah, so today's poll, let's chat today's poll. Today's poll is, wow, taxes suck. The price of eggs, Marvel Rivals, or the Yang Mills existence and mass gap. Which one of these has got you up at night right now? Are you, which one of these has got you up at night? Which one of these has got you hard? Is making you hard day in and day out, all day long? Call a doctor if it lasts more than 4 hours. What's going on here? What's going on with people? What are you all hot and bothered by? What are you taking into the bathroom stall with you? What are you doing there? What's going on? Sickos, what are you doing? Okay, for me, yeah, I see price of eggs is winning. I have a question, folks outside of the US. Are egg prices weird in Canada? Are egg prices weird in Europe? What are egg prices like outside? Oh, this was kind of a cool effect. I'll be honest with you. So I'm kind of into this. This was gloss, just in case you want to replicate this. First of all, you have to say that it came from me. It was my idea. You have to say that whenever you do it or whenever anyone asks you about it. Even if somebody else did this before me, I need you to do that for me. And then what this is I just added some Dollar Roundy ink to AK Gloss Medium, and I'm just like going over metallics with it. We'll see. We'll see if I like the end result, but I do like the result currently. Okay. Eggs are now normal. Normal in Canada. Cool, so just not normal in the US. That's cool. Yeah, we won't go into that one at all. We'll just moving along. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow. I think it's dry. Gonna take a little bit of yellow. And no, it's not dry. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna just do a little yellow on their fin. Interesting. Yeah, well, egg prices suck here. They're all over the place. But you know, I will say this. Honestly, I've done all of our grocery shopping, and I cook a lot and grocery shop, so I do know prices. Spending $11.99, $10.99 on a 12 pack of eggs is insane. But I will say this, like I remember even 10 years ago, eggs were like, I could still routinely get eggs for like in the US and California for like $1.99 for 12. And even in between there and now, they've gone up more to like $2.99, $3.99. I don't know. It's just, it's a thing. I think one thing that I've kind of noticed is this happened with isopropyl alcohol, which a lot of you guys, folks at home, will know, because isopropyl alcohol before COVID was this thing that you could go into a pharmacy in the US and you could buy a bottle about this big of it for 99 cents. And for whatever reason, it became valuable after COVID, and it's never really gone back down. I think the people who sell isopropyl alcohol start to realize, like, hey, people actually will pay more for this than 99 cents. And so it's kind of lame, but yeah, it is our new reality for isopropyl alcohol. Okay, here we go. A little yellow fin action going on here on these guys now. Almost just kind of like going across the top. And that's sort of enough, I think. Just like a little interesting splash of color. It's only a few of them. Okay, there we go. There's our little fish. I like to imagine these things are just gonna like fly into in like in a mass and just like impale like an iron jaw. After like a battle, like the vanguard like get off their horses and check, and there's like these fish are like stuck in the armor. Okay, cool. So last but not least for the turtle base, then back to these things, which are coming out. Okay, that improved things a little bit. I just hit them with a fluorescent layer, and now we're going to add some color to them. And I actually kind of think I'm going to stick with yellow here. And what I'm going to do, one of the things I've really been enjoying about the Deepkin army is just grabbing some different colors. I have a wide color palette, but the colors I use themselves are sort of tight. Like I only use a couple different yellows, a couple different oranges, a couple different pinks. We've got green, blue. But one of the things I've really been enjoying is just going crazy with like the different kind of color combos. So we're gonna do yellow and orange on these fish. Like they've got these kind of orange bodies, and we're going to say they've got these yellow, also like these yellow fins. But we're going to dry brush, or kind of like, almost like not even dry brush, like over brush, I think like some turquoise or green or something onto the ends of the yellows. We're not just going to leave these fins pure yellow. There's going to be like at least one more color involved majorly in this. Do they make, does anyone know, UK people, do they make, in North America, does GW do any manufacturing in North America? Or is it all mostly UK? I know they've kind of pulled back from China. Which is good, I believe. But do they do any in North America? I don't know about you guys, but I weirdly, people complain about yellow a lot. I tend to not, I've never done like mega yellow over like Imperial Fist or something like that. But I tend to not have problems with yellow like a lot of people say they have. Or white. For me, the big one is orange. I've noticed orange, I feel like orange paint is typically the worst paint in any given line. Okay, here we go. What time is it? I started my journey at 11, and I just got a notification that's almost been 2 hours. And it was very confusing. If we were a bigger channel and that was like an assistant, we'd fire her ass for that. The hell. Okay, let's see. All right, well, price of eggs. That's weird, because I know that it's winning by so much then. But you can tell, Europeans and Canadians, how bothered we are by it here in the U.S. Okay, let me do the other fish while I'm here. Just getting this AK. This is like the AK heavy coverage, intense color yellow. That's also probably part of getting yellow. Okay, it's like having the right yellow paint. Man, but by contrast, AK luminous orange. This stuff right here. Ew, man, I mean, it's practically a wash. Like, it is, like, I only really ever use it over top of, like, something else to make it a little more orange or make it a little more vivid. I probably will actually put a layer on these guys of it, as a matter of fact. Presumably, they have a deep color, like a deep orange. I don't have it. Okay. Guys, guess what came out on Warhammer Plus? You might have seen this. That's right. The second season of our favorite show, Black Talon. Now, I think I'm going to personally wait for the whole season to come out and then do a watch. They're like, oh, it's just the first episode. I'm like, what are you? What? This isn't TV. What are you doing, Games Workshop? But here you go. First episode. You got the trailer. This trailer actually that came out now was a little bit had a little bit more going on in it. It's going to take place in the city of Hammerhall quite a bit, which is pretty cool because Hammerhall is in Akshi, the Great Parch, which is where this current season is taking place of Age of Sigmar, and I actually kind of have a hunch that we might even get more Hammerhall stuff in the next season, coming up in the summer of Age of Sigmar. So it's a cool tie-in for sure that they've done here, tying in their show with the season. Yeah, I'm super excited. But like I said, I think I am just gonna wait. I don't know. Do you guys ever do that? Like, I'm doing that with the Foundation show on Apple Plus, and I feel like that must suck for Apple. Like, imagine finding out a bunch of people are just waiting for you to finish the show, right? They're not watching the show. No one's watching the show. And then they're like, no, that's cool. I'm going to wait for the show to be finished and I'm going to binge it. And for the Foundation show, I almost kind of think it's like a requirement because that show is wild. Oh my God. Trying to figure out what the hell's going on in that. I mean, I read the first book when I was younger, but I don't remember much of it. Just other than that, I kind of liked it generally. But as far as like plot points and stuff, very little. Very little remembered. So yeah, I would say that's the plan. I don't know, Meg. Like I said, we could watch each episode as it comes out once a week, I guess, for the next 6 weeks. I was kind of planning on waiting till they're all out. So let's see. Yep, cool. There's Rostus. Oh man, I had Rostus kill Lord of Change. Or Karos, actually. I don't know if you guys saw last Monday. Spoiler in the game. But Rostus took out Karos Fate Wheeler by himself. It was pretty cool. I'm sure Graham didn't think so. Actually, Graham probably did think so. Anyway, there we go. There it is. There's pictures of Black Talon. More episodes to follow later this month. So fun. Do we trust GW to release an episode a week, or are they going to do something weird and just like randomly release them? I don't know. Anyway, very exciting. Okay. These little guys. Making sure I'm getting good coverage with my yellow. It does take a couple of thin layers. I guess that's what people like to complain about yellow. But I think that's like most colors, right? I really kind of find... I've historically found that orange, and then also another troublemaker can be like bones and creams. For whatever reason, I've been able to get my hand on white paints that I like and yellow paints that I like that seem to do an okay job. Orange is the big troublemaker. I have found. Oh, okay, interesting. Thanks, Soups. Okay, well, if they're going to release 3 episodes and then make me wait for the other 3 or something like that, I'll probably watch the first 3 when they come out. When they're done. I'll try to figure out what's going on and plan accordingly. I definitely liked the first season a lot. And I don't think I would be... That does make sense. When I think about the first season, I'm not sure if they did it that way. But it would make sense, because the first 3 episodes sort of are different than the second 3 episodes. The second 3 episodes really have like the story of the main villain. And in the first 3, you're just kind of hearing about the main villain, like he's not in them at all. So I'm kind of that would make total sense, actually, now that you say that. Okay, let's grab. There happens to be a little bit of turquoise on this wet palette. I forget why. I think it was from MCP terrain. So what I'm gonna do. I just do kind of like oh, this is not as much of a blend as I was hoping for. Okay, I might have to go back over with a bit of the yellow. That's okay. Just kind of getting like a little bit of the turquoise on them, on their fins, to make them look a little more magical. Like so. Okay. Yeah, interesting, Liberty. I remember you bringing this up with Cobra Kai before. I kind of feel like streaming services are still kind of trying to figure this out. And of course, God forbid they plan or acknowledge that people might, unsubscribe to them for a few months. I'm personally, when it comes to streaming services right now, I really kind of feel like Apple is killing it, honestly, for shows. And I haven't even seen like Silo yet, which I know people love. I'm excited to see that. There's stuff on there that I'm like excited for. Most other channels, I'm kind of like, I don't even know what you have on you right now. Like, what should I be excited about on, you know, Disney or HBO or whatever. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good look. Look at that. That's good. It's got a lot of good from far, but far from good going on right now. So for you guys, these might look okay. For me, they need a little bit more work here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to step away from the yellow and the turquoise. I'm going to go back there with the yellow and kind of, you know, dry brush over the turquoise. But I actually, like I said, I actually want this orange a little more vivid. So I'm going to try my AK Luminous Orange trick. Like I said, this is one of the funkiest paints to use for me. I feel like, we'll see how it goes. I feel like this Luminous Orange is, just like doesn't work sometimes. Like you put it over top of something and you're like, wow, nothing happened. But it definitely likes a good shake. Got to give it a good shake. And it is a beautiful color. It's practically a fluorescent kind of creamy orange. Let's see if I can get it to behave. Look at this like pigmentation already. You can see in it, like the chunkiness. Maybe it doesn't want to be on a wet palette. I don't know. Maybe it just needs to be shaken more. Stir it. Okay, let's see how we can get this to. All right. Might be actually kind of what we want. It looks like it's going to behave a little bit like, yeah, see, there's like nothing happening. Oh, that's not true. It's a little bit. Okay, maybe this is okay. It just might take a few layers. I really probably should have gone back over this with I did go back over with some airbrush color, but man, orange sucks. Does anyone know why orange paint sucks? Why is orange like the hardest? Titanium white. Yeah, I'm going over, I'm just basically just going over orange, Tim. And you're right, it does look like it. Like it looks like kind of creamy, like you think it has opacity to it, actually. Like as soon as I poured it out, I was like, oh, I don't remember it having that much opacity. And then you start painting with it and you're like, it really doesn't have opacity. Timbit says let's add a little titanium white. Let's give it a try. I have titanium white. I don't have it right here. Let me go grab it. Okay, let me find this titanium white gray. Gotta go on a little bit of a hunt for this one. Okay, well here's a pro acrylic titanium white. I was hoping to use AK titanium white. God, is there even anything in this? What is happening? What's going on? Where are all of our titanium whites? Okay. I actually really haven't been, I used to love AK titanium white. I haven't really been using it. Yeah, I do have like a cadmium orange. You're right, Timbit, and that does work a lot better. Okay, here we go. I'm stirring in a little bit of Titanium white. And it's looking even more like a creamsicle. That's actually kind of okay, I think. I don't know what's going on with this bottle of Pro Acrylic. Let's give it a try. On-air advice from Timbit. I mean, yeah, it definitely covers more, but it is, you know, obviously like a little more pastel now. Checks out. We did add white to it. But I think I'm kind of okay with it. And then you say go back over it again with it. Which, yeah, I mean, essentially it's an ink, right? It might as well just be an ink. This is how you use an ink, kind of, right? You put white down and then you go over top of it. In this case, the orange is just, we're kind of mixing the white into a layer of orange, but this does help a lot, though. You're right. Good call. This army I've done more orange than I've really ever done before, but not in like large quantities really. I did a lot of orange on my Slaves to Darkness army, but that was like Timbit was saying, that was the cadmiums. That wasn't like any kind of bright oranges. It was a lot of cadmiums, and I did use this AK Luminous orange over top of that a lot for a highlight. But again, I don't feel like it. I mean, I guess it did some. Okay, this is looking pretty good. But Timbit, even your answer, it doesn't quite answer my question. Like you said, they're semi-transparent or whatever, except for the cadmiums. I understand that different materials are used in paint to get the color, like duh. So yeah, I guess whatever is used to make orange just doesn't cover well. Like I guess it just doesn't cover well. Thanks, Liberty. My AOS game is close to the chest. Tips. Let me look that one up. And what are you playing, and what's your opponent playing? Okay. Yeah, this was great actually. As it's drying, it looks quite nice, and I can tell that. Oh, I think, at least I believe and hope so, that as I add one more layer of the luminous orange, it will work. Close to the chest. Which one is this? Let's take a sec. I think I'm doing okay on time here. Let me take a sec and look this up. Okay, this is 6. Wow, I haven't played this one. We haven't played this one in a while on stream. What is this? Do we like not have this card? I always pull them out of cards. Am I like missing this card? I haven't seen this one forever. Oh no, we've done this, I think. Man, this one looks weird. Yeah, I mean, kind of. Also, there's a death battle tactic, inevitable demise. That's pretty easy for Soulblight Gravelords to score. So keeping something back there, screening him out, could be nice. I would say, but honestly, like, there's also just a case to be made. Like, is your army actually a denial army? Like, is that a play style, right? Do you try to deny your opponent battle tactics? Is that something Iron Jaws do? I honestly don't know. I do that with my Deepkin army. I kind of plan on my opponent being. I mostly try to get my opponent to be shit out of luck on battle tactics turn 4 and 5. Honestly, if that is a way your army functions, Liberty, denying battle tactics, then go for it. But I would also just say that that's like, 1, is your army good at it? 2, death is good at battle tactics, Soul Blight especially. Bone Reapers maybe not so much, but Soul Blight are pretty good at battle tactics. Like Inevitable Demise is very doable for Soul Blight. He's going to probably try to, getting stuff killed early, like if he's got little 10-man skeletons or whatever, he almost wants that to happen. So he's probably like do like a seize the center and just get them killed, so he can start bringing them back for Inevitable Demise, take their lands, take the flanks, just like all of those things. You can pretty much use 2 10-man skeleton squads as a Soul Blight Gravelords player, or Wolves or whatever. Run in, seize the center, and then literally score 3 more battle tactics with those 2 units as they come back, right? You can do flanks, land, and Inevitable Demise with the same 2 units. Meanwhile, the rest of your army is freed up to just do things. So I don't know. I'm not sure I would plan on my overall battle plan against Soul Blight with Iron Jaws would be to battle deny them. I think I would probably plan on killing. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I would just kill those. You gotta just kill the vampires, honestly. Okay. I would kill vampires. I wouldn't focus too much on denying battle tactics against him. That's just very hard to do. I don't know what you have in your list. But yeah, battle tactics is hard to deny on Soul Blight. I would just make sure you're getting yours and try to clean them off objectives. Yeah. Maybe go first. Maybe go first and shut down center. Might be good. Okay. Yeah, maybe go first with see how if you can get center and just hope he if you can deny him center, that's nice. That's a good one for him. Fight in 2 places and don't die. If he doesn't have a Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon, it doesn't sound like he's that scary on a double turn. So I wouldn't be too worried about going first with Iron Jaws against him, honestly. Okay, Tim, thank you for that tip. It did work. It did work pretty well. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, so next on these guys, I said I wanted to do the yellow a little bit again. Let's do that. Just gonna kind of smooth this back out. Almost get like a little gradient going with the yellow and the turquoise kind of going back and forth. Again, these are kind of like good from far, but far from good, if you know what I mean. When you get up close and check things out, they're not going to be perfect. And I kind of want them to be like not perfect, right? But I kind of want them to be a little bit not good from far, but far from good. So I do want to take some time and get this right, not just slop it together real fast. This is pretty sloppy right here. So we're gonna, there we go. Yellow blended back in there. Same here, just get that yellow back in a little bit. I really liked, Liberty. We watched Jacob at LVO use a big pig as utility. And I think if you could afford to do that with one of them, I would probably do that, right? I would have your infantry, and then I would have your pigs for the assault, and then I would honestly, I like the big pigs running around. One of the big pigs running around doing things. I thought, that big pig did a lot. And then late game, you can do things like a good use for him, right, is the way Death is going to be playing. Like if he's doing things like inevitable demise and stuff, he's bringing things back and setting up for battle tactics and stuff. If you have a big pig kind of in your back disrupting that, he can't be everywhere at once, but he can do things like help with don't fight and don't die, like save it for later in the game when like a big pig is going to fight 5 skeletons easy. And elsewhere in the board, hopefully you've got another good fight queued up or something. Okay. What I'm gonna do, how much time do I have left? Okay, 18 minutes, plenty of time. We're gonna paint the coral now that weaves through these fish. Knock this out kind of quick. This is a little bit of, way too much. This is a little bit of Fulgrim, Emperor's Children layer here. And I'll switch to just working on this one because I want to finish it so that I can put it on the turtle's base and get the still water down. Okay, there's that. Next, we're just going to go with, I'm not even taking this off my brush. Getting a little bit of Fulgrim pink here. Just doing a little bit of selective highlighting on the pink here. There's even a little accidental wet blending happening. I'll take it. Okay, there we go. Eyes. Let's do, I kind of want to just do white. And then I might do like a little wash around them. Yeah, I mean, that sounds good. I don't know that you need all three of them together, like you're saying. Frankly, oh man, God, I missed a coral piece. So annoying. Frankly, I kind of like them as bullies. Like I said, I really thought the way Jacob used them was pretty interesting. He just had one. So I kind of like the outskirts bully concept that he was doing. Objective grabbing and bullying. And then, you know, kind of late in the game, that pig came back and did stuff, so. Here. Okay. I had some white and the pink together, so I'll just toss another highlight real fast. No reason not to on the coral. Kind of just going another step is always a good thing. Usually. Okay, there we go. That's kind of the thing. The last thing I kind of wanted to do, is that gonna work? Is just a little bit, very subtle of this. A little bit of crimson. Some areas I just want to shade a bit, especially around the eyes, around the faces. Oh, that guy does have an eye that's visible. This also helps the eyes pop out a little bit, so I can see them for. I was having a hard time spotting the eyes actually on these smaller fish. But you can see it kind of helps with. There we go. This fish actually looks kind of menacing, honestly. Okay. Kind of what we're going for. We're going to do something real fast here, which is we're going to hit it with our two colors we use to dry brush. We have a little dry brush that we do on the base. Nope, not that one. Okay, that'll work, I think. We do, I forget the order. We do a little bit of Temple Guard blue, and then a little bit of Cerbite green. Sorry, it's called Sybarite green. Okay, so we just do kind of gentle here. And a lot of this is going to end up getting covered up. You'll see in a second. But we do want it to be consistent with the rest. We do pretty much a quick sloppy dry brush like this. And once again, kind of without taking paint off. I take Sybarite green. Do kind of the same thing. There we go. Okay. Yay. Let's do this now. In the interest of time here, moving on. I think we said we want this guy like right about here. Tucked in like that, so it's kind of part of the rocky system going on already. With glue, wedging that in there. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Okay, last but not least, to pull that into line, excuse me, with the rest of the base, we absolutely want it to be, glowing, having the glow, the top. You see like the kind of title, the luminescent glow I have going on here. So this thing just got added, but it needs to get a little bit of the effect that the rest of them have. So we're gonna take our Molotow white ink as I end our poll. Price of eggs. The Yang Mills existence in mass gap came in second. I like that. A lot of deep thinkers in here today. Okay, that's pretty much it right there. Okay, with the white. Like I said, the dry brushing, a lot of it is going to end up being covered. Nice and fast. Okay, there we go. Making sure we get all that white out. I don't want it to make the turquoise opaque. Okay, nice and fast to clean. That's what I like about the inks. One of the things I like about the inks, I mean, I like a lot about the inks, to be honest with you. Okay, we do turquoise, as you guys can kind of see, like closer. Turquoise kind of represents, weirdly, I have turquoise actually kind of representing more shallow, and the green is actually deeper. So we build a little more turquoise there. And checking anywhere else I want to add some more turquoise. Make like a little connector here. Okay. Guys, we did it. We finished the Leviadon. So, not quite, though. I need to do the, oh, wait, I need this. I need to do the resin. Let's show off the Leviadon, the whole thing, and then we'll put the resin in, because once we put that resin on, he can't really get moved around too much anymore. Okay. What the heck? There's some real water here. Okay, there's our base. Hope you like it. I'm pretty happy with it. We got our shiny fish. We got our orange fish. We got our little crab, our starfish. We got our boat wreck. I'm into it. Okay, and then here he comes. Here comes the turtle. He's going on his base. There it is. That's the whole thing. That's about as pulled out as we can get. And there he is. The turtle. The Leviadon. I'm so excited to use him on stream this Monday. He will definitely stick out on the battlefield. He's going to look cool in the front view because he's like flying. Okay, so there he is. Hope you like it. In the last 5 minutes, what I'll do here is I'll start playing around this Stillwater. So you guys, if you haven't seen how the AK Stillwater stuff works, you can see. It's actually really an amazing level 1 resin pour tool. It's kind of like It might be all you ever need for resin pouring, to be honest with you, depending on how dramatic you like to be about your resin. It doesn't do waterfalls, it doesn't do rapids. Excuse me, but I did pick it because I wanted tide pools. And kind of frankly, I kind of picked tide pools because I wanted to use the still water. Okay, here we go. We do multiple layers of this, so I'm just gonna do the first one for now. Although I haven't actually been doing that many layers. But what I did kind of want to show you guys is that it really does sit where you put it. So you can kind of just like go around the edges. It's doesn't have to be a big deal. I'm kind of trying to be careful not to, you saw I was kind of cruising the nozzle right on my paint job. I actually don't want to make a scratch. You can get bubbles out with a little stick in a minute here. I haven't actually been, again, I actually really have not been pursuing bubble removal, if I'm honest. I've mostly been kind of okay with it. You really do want to be careful with whatever you're using to like move things around or pop bubbles or whatever, that you're not screwing up your paint job underneath, because if you do, you will not be happy. I did it and it was kind of a mess to deal with. Actually, there was one spot where I messed it up and I couldn't get to it, and I ended up quick grabbing like one of these little rocks and just sticking it over top of it. I think I even know exactly where it is. I think it was in the Eidolon of the Storm when I was doing his base. You have to kind of ask yourself if you're okay with these bubbles. It is a tide pool. I'm kind of okay with them. Okay, we're being careful, but you can see it kind of weirdly like doesn't break the... It's not like overflowing the sides much of my... Practice for sure. Don't just jump in on this. Like, see all those bubbles? I don't know, kind of cool, right? Not in love with the huge bubbles, though. Okay. Question, your Leviadon has barnacles on. Is that because the Deepkin worship barnacles and don't consider them a parasite? I don't know. Well, keep in mind, the creatures that they use for their raids, they grab them like right before the raid and use magic to kind of commandeer them. They're not actually like Again, they're not actually like the Deepkin's pets, except for the Deep Mare, which I noticed has no barnacles on it. Actually, now that you mention it. But the turtle, the Leviadon, definitely has barnacles on it. I don't think any eels do either. That might just be like a Leviadon thing, which makes sense. I guess they move pretty slow compared to eels and sharks. Sinking some water down in here. Hey, I think we did it. Checking to see if there's any like dry spot. Yeah, over here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to get down in here or something. I'm gonna push the bubbles closer to the elements, so they're not just like out in the open. Guys, we did it. We did a base. We painted a Leviadon. We had some memories. We had some laughs. I think we all learned a lot about ourselves and each other. And there we go. You can actually see how it's gonna look. It's nice, right? I don't want to tilt it. I don't want to make too much of a mess, but I really enjoyed the sheen and the depth that you get from the still water. So I have to carefully transport this now. I'm going to pick it up and put it on my wet palette, which is nice. Which the lid is closed and it is nice and dry. There you go. That's the base. I'm pretty happy with that. If I'm honest. There you go. You can kind of see. I mean, when it dries, it's not going to look any different. That's it. Yeah, it's nice resin. It's a great Resin 101 product to really get going. But again, it only really does one thing. But it was pretty perfect for tide pools, I would say. Okay, I'm going to, at the risk of being a total psycho, put him back on here. Now you can really kind of see what's going on. There he is. There's our guy. Folks at home, thanks so much for joining me on the Leviadon journey. This is it. That's it. Last episode. I will be doing another journey probably somewhat soon, but not next week. Hopefully, I'll figure that out and figure out the time we're going to do it. Might be the same time, might be a different time. Not sure yet. Thanks everybody for joining me. See you folks around.